Okay, so I'm not gonna, I'll unwrap just parts of it so you can see that. So for example, this new head that we created, same method as the fire hydrant, shift right click, map. We'll do it on Z this time. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to edge mode, just select all of the edges that make up 1/2 of the sphere. You always want to unwrap a sphere like a map. And then I'm going to shift right click in here, cut UVs. Now you might not know whether or not the UVs are cut unless you click the edge display mode. I'm going to go to UV mode, control right click to shell, shift right click, smooth UVs. I'm just going to unfold that. And there is like a super clean unwrap for a head. Even if you had like a lot of facial detail. Same thing with the arm. The arm is in the shape of a cylinder. Same process, select the entire thing, shift right click, I'm going to map it on Y. I'm going to throw a seam down the center here, shift right click, cut UVs. Looks like it didn't go all the way through, so it's like this. Let's turn this on, cut UVs. Whenever there's a face change, like this, you want a planar map on that axis. So let's do mapping. And planar map this on X. Let's take a look. Same thing here, plane change. Planar map on X. Now I know that these UVs are shaded red, so if I go to UV, text UVs, or image, shaded UVs, and the reason I know that is because whenever you're planar mapping, it's planar mapping off the face normal. So you have to, these face normals are facing this way, so you always have to flip it before you unfold it. And I'll do the same thing here. And same thing for this guy. You can see that's a perfect unwrap for any sort of cylindrical object. So if I'm going to select everything, actually what I can do here is I can delete this guy and just do an edit duplicate special and do a -Y, and then I'm going to do a copy and then hit apply. And what you'll notice is if I go in here and I shift all of these over, I didn't have to, it was kind of like it was a win for me because it already came unwrapped because I copied that arm. All right, so let's kind of get these all inside of here for now. You can hit here to fit it, but ideally what you want to do is you want to always have your objects laid out in the order that it looks. So for example, the head should always be in the top left corner because it's in the top of your model. And then the torso, which is this guy right here, should always be in the center. And because it's such a big part of our model, it should take up the most space. So let me combine this. These need to be flipped. Otherwise, you'll get really bad bakes out of X normal or substance. Let's flip that. Flip this. And because these are so tiny, they don't need to take up this much space. So I'm just going to lay all these out next to each other and place them on the bottom. Now the arms should take up more space, so I'm going to place them, like I said, right where they are in relation to the body, which should be in the center. And these other tidbits, like the wheels, like these really, I'm not going to unwrap them in this video, but if you watch the fire hydrant video, I cover how to unwrap it in there. How to unwrap cylindrical objects. This guy the head of this model has a lot of detail. So really, this should be much bigger. And I would probably do the same technique I did for this ball model. Actually, you know what? Here's a simple fix. all I have to do is duplicate this face. Position it right where this is. It's got to be close, very close in size. All right, let's see how this looks. So again, I'm going to combine this. Edit, delete by type history. Slightly smaller. Let's move this down. All right, so let's cover how to export from Substance, okay? So let's assume that this is perfectly unwrapped, right? Now notice I did not move the position at all, right? This is the exact same position I got it from ZBrush. I swapped out some ugly pieces that I didn't like the two head pieces, cleaned it up, I unwrapped them. So I'm gonna save this, just so I have it, as TrashBot. If you work from different versions of Maya, always save it as a Maya ASCII. That's why all of my models are always Maya ASCII. Save that, and then I'm going to re-export this as an OBJ as TrashBot low _ version 2, so we can see that coming into. And then I hit export all. Now in Substance, I'm going to go to File, New, Document. And let's go to my desktop. TrashBot low version 2, hit open, hit OK. You can see, oh, okay, so if this happens where you do not see your UVs when you come into Substance, the reason is you need to have a material assigned across the entire model. So now with that new material assigned, I'll do export selection. I'll write over this TrashBot low version 2, jump back into Substance, do File, New, discard that guy, and I'll select my TrashBot low version 2, hit OK. You'll see it popped up. Now, how the heck do we actually get the normal map and textures from our high-res TrashBot? Well, like I said, if you did not move it coming out of ZBrush, all you have to do is go to Texture Set Settings, Additional Maps, Bake Textures, High Poly Parameters, click this guy right here, TrashBot High, and then hit Bake Textures. I'm going to pause the video because this sometimes takes a while. All right, so we baked it out only at 512 by 512, and that's why it looks kind of low res. But notice that geometry in our re-unwrap lined up fine. So, and the textures are all inside of here. So if we want to apply the texture, you create a new fill layer, and I usually call this diffuse or albedo. Usually albedo because it matches with Unity or Unreal. So I'm going to drag this and just drop it on the color. See where the color is? Above it on the name, and you'll see it applied it. And that's my normal map. Now my normal is really low. I'll just do a really quick pause and try to bake out a higher one just to see how it looks. So that was 512. We'll go as high as 2048, and then bake textures again, and it'll reapply it to everything once it's done because it's going to write over C demargin desktop TrashBot the file locations. So let's do that, and then I'll show you how to export. Okay, so here's our higher res map, our higher res object. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and in the desktop TrashBot, I'll just name it TrashBot because it's only going to be a Substance file, and save that. Now, what's nice is you can go in here and like touch up stuff like, you know, I'm going to make a new layer on top, an empty layer, and then I can come into my layers here and just select stuff like a darker black and clean up that eye. It looked like it was a little bit outside of the parameters. I can eye drop, you know, a little bit of the eye color there and clean this up. And then what's cool too is you can go in here and increase your metallic. And you can say, well, you know what, like, let's remove color for a second. Just this area right here is super metallic, these yellow things on his ears. So I can make that super metallic and reflective. Okay, good. Whereas like the rest of his body is made of a dull rubber or plastic. Okay. So something like that is kind of cool. Maybe the yellow of his I mean, you can have fun with it. Or this guy's eyes are super metallic. And then let's bring that color back on. And then I'll add a little, like I said, I'll darken up his eyes. Maybe he's got green eyes. That'd be kind of neat. I don't know. But those eyes are not metallic, so you can see. All right, anyway. So let's go to exporting this. So I'm going to right-click, Export Textures. I'm going to navigate to my desktop, TrashBot folder, make a new folder called Textures. Select folder, and then I'm going to go, see how it says 1024? I'm going to really make these like really big. So 2048, and then just hit export. And that's it.